Hello everyone, welcome to our, I was gonna say weekly, but irregular podcast. So that has been primarily about using AI in software development. I am Sourabh with over 13 years of industry experience, and last couple of years I have extensively spent exploring AI in QA, AI in Scrum Mastership, and in general as well. Joining me today is my colleague Pramod. Pramod, can you introduce yourself?
Hey Saurabh, thanks for having me on the show. I'm Pramod Sridhar, a seasoned backend developer with over 13 years of experience. I'm also a Scrum Master and now exploring further into the AI since the last couple of years. Thanks for having me, man.
Welcome, Pramod. So, do you know what we are talking about today?
Not exactly. I'm just waiting for you to give me the hint.
So, what we are talking about is the resistance, the skepticism, or the doubts that we have seen all the software developers having while using AI, and
Hmm?
because of those doubts, the resistance that they have faced in using AI. And the amount of people that we have seen that have still not started using the tools that are available to us.
Yep, yep, that's nice. But I think in the previous webinars or the podcast, we've already given out information about how to use AI and also how to build your own agents, right? But why are we taking a step back to figure out why people are hesitant to use AI now?
Um, I did not expect you to call out me on the topic itself. Let me think. Yes, what we have covered before has been like a step two. That was probably under the assumption that everybody is already familiar with the groundwork. But what we had done was we ourselves had alienated a wide audience. If you have not started using it, how do you become a pro in it? So that's the step two we were talking about. But what the audience we are targeting here today is that audience which has not started exploring it, and that as of now seems to be the wider audience, and it a very important topic to explore at the moment, because um, we have seen multiple jumps in software developments earlier. In historically speaking, this new tool came, that new tool came, that kind of things have happened in the past. This one does not seem like just one jump ahead. This one almost seems like an industry reset. So if you are not catching on to this industry reset as of now, and you maybe try to jump on it, let's say maybe a year later or 1.5 year later, you might not be able to catch up. We are moving too fast with
Absolutely.
it. In our last
Absolutely.
1 year itself, the amount of changes that we have seen, you and me, like our last 1 or 2 years that we have spent in AI, the amount of changes we have seen have been too much.
Yeah, absolutely. This is like the final call for all the ones who have not been boarded onto the AI ship, right? So, yeah, makes sense in that way.
So, what I thought, Pramod, to do today is we'll divide our talk into multiple segments.
Hmm.
First, let's talk about the scale of the problem, or let's call it the scale of the avoidance. Despite widespread awareness, only a small percentage of developers actually use AI in their day-to-day workflow, and when they do try, it's often short-lived.
Yeah, that's a thing, isn't it? Because I see a lot of downloads happening in the Copilot, studios or installs, etc. But turns out every time we discuss about the organizations about how they're faring with the AI, they only say only 30-40% of developers are actually using it regularly, which is kind of a huge gap compared to how Copilot are being installed. Well, there is some gap, yes.
Yeah, yeah, and this is not limited to any experience level or any tech level. This spans across different areas, right? Juniors worry about over dependence, seniors worry about losing their touch or lower quality, and mid levels feel stuck, unsure whether AI helps or hurts their career growth.
Yeah, that is true. There is a small kind of resistance among different categories of software developers, like you mentioned. Some of them are using it for a small brief and then disabling it silently. Some, even though they use Copilot or ChatGPT, they never commit those code. They even refine further based on their use case, etc. I think it's more of an adoption challenge what people are facing or the mindset they have in terms of using AI.
Okay, now that we have established there's a good amount of people that are not using AI, let's get into the why of it.
Mm,
So, there could be multiple reasons for it. One of them, which I feel, is like the doubt in their identity, their perfectionism, and their trust. So a lot of resistance comes from perfectionism. Developers aren't just solving problems; they are crafting AI-generated code that can feel like cutting corners.
hmm Yeah, that's true. Also, I think it's more of taking authorship of it. So, like I've been a software developer for more than 12 years now, and whatever I write, right, I'll be accountable for it. So now when I take some code from even the Copilot or any of the AI assistants, then if I myself am not sure about how the code is going to fare, so it's going to be very hard for me to review, defend in the code review. So that's what most of the juniors face it in that extent because they end up writing huge codes with the help of assistants, and when they're challenged in the code review phase, they're not be able to defend themselves. That's another challenge probably.
So we have covered that we trust the quality of the code that is generated. We worry about if the code is generated from there, who will worry about the ownership of it. And
Yes.
finally, there is this trust issue as well. And then we can also talk about reverse imposter syndrome. Not that you don't know enough, but this feeling of inadequate, the feeling of that you need help. A real dev should write his own code from scratch. Is that something you feel too? And that I'm
Yeah.
talking about, like since you are a little experienced in using AI, so do you still feel that?
Yeah, I feel that too sometimes because sometimes AI can hallucinate and then it can also go wrong and it could not take the prompts the way we want. So, even a minor bug or inefficiency, which might not have good explanation in terms of, AI generated code. So, I think it's just not about the results alone, it's about how we trace that, how the AI is generating the code for us. That's the biggest challenge we have.
So these are the problems that we have covered from individual perspective. Like at an individual level, what kind of problems you might face, and while talking to you, the answers to those are coming to my mind, but we'll save that for later. Now in the segment two, the kind of again, not to overuse the word resistance, the kind of resistance that we have seen a lot also comes from culture and the kind of setting you have, the kind of people that are around you. So sometimes it's not just the individual or the dev himself, it's the environment itself. Teams that lack psychological safety discourage AI use implicitly. Maybe a slightly big of a sentence, but it's just that the group of people that you're surrounded by can impact you negatively as well.
Oh, yes, definitely. I remember when the AI was new and a few of the teams whom I knew were making use of the AI. Then their own teammates who used to tease, like if they start using AI, then hey, this guy is using AI instead of writing his own code. So what the person used to do was, I still remember, he used to scrub his commit, hide that kind of code generated by the AI, etc. That was kind of a toxic situation there.
So that shame factor kicks in,
Absolutely.
and yeah, another thing that I will be talking about in the solutions that we'll be providing. It
Yeah.
reminds me of that story that is there. You remember that a spider is trying to climb up and the others are pulling
Yeah.
him
Yeah.
pulling him down.
Yeah.
So meanwhile, teams that do promote experimentation, they thrive. Yeah, that we have seen multiple times. So retros with the AI wins slash fails help normalize the usage. So it's like pair programming with a new teammate. If at first it feels awkward and but later powerful. So historically speaking, we have adopted so many new technologies.
Hmm.
Why not this? We are an agile company. We stay in agile environment, and that's what Devon has been primarily advocating or consulting, I would say. So what that promotes is adoption,
Yeah.
understand, adopt early. So that stays true for AI as well.
You're very true. And I think the major challenge here is to, have a clarity on what kind of AI tool to be picked up. So there are a lot of options now. You have Copilot, you have ChatGPT, you have Claude, or you can also have Amazon Q, etc., etc., right? So sometimes teams doesn't know what kind of tool they have to pick up to start, from the first pitch. So that is where the lack of guidance is also creating kind of trouble. So they end up choosing the wrong AI tool, and then they feel this is not the way they should be progressing. So yeah, there are tons of guidance which is required for them to get started.
So that's the third pain point that we have talked about. Another thing that we'll be talking about in the solutions that we'll be providing. So coming at it from a psychological point of view, let's talk about how to shift the mindset. And the mindset shift starts from reframing. AI isn't replacing us; it's augmenting us. It's like a junior dev who's fast, who's literal, but needs guidance. So let's say there is a new person joining your team. You have an onboarding document, right?
Yep,
You have this KT sessions going on. So you take
correct.
some time when you are guiding that new junior as to how he'll be up to that level where he'll be able to live up to his full potential. Why not
Right, is it?
talk about AI as a junior developer?
Excellent point, Saurabh. Yeah, absolutely. I have the same kind of mindset. That's how we started implementing AI in our projects, right? So, well, instead of thinking it in a different way, just start offloading your work. You know, maybe it could be a boilerplate code which you keep writing on a daily basis, basic test scenarios which you have to regenerate. Instead of writing manually, you could make use of AI to do all those things. And if you just get rid of these kind of monotonous works, you could actually concentrate more on bigger aspects like architecture, modifying your own architectures, identifying edge cases in the applications, and impactful, code generations, etc., using more robust, architectures and the design patterns. So yeah, that's how you should be focusing, I believe.
Along with it, what we need also to implement is the growth mindset. Yeah. What we are good at or not is not the important question here. Do we want to learn and get better? That is
Yeah.
the question here. So we can join hands with the tool and grow together.
Oh, definitely, definitely. Yeah. So all these small wins matter when you actually are working on an enterprise application, and especially when you have shorter deadlines coming in across in this fast-paced world. So you just have to keep prompting, and then you never know. One great AI prompt could land you into a big round of code segments which can be done without much of your own hard work, etc., etc. So it also improves readability, how the application works. All of us will be on the same standard set of coding practices around. So yeah, there are a lot of positives which happen with the help of using the tool to its potential and accepting it as a fellow developer with us.
And these positives, they keep on compounding. The more you use, the more you get out of it. It's not just that the tools are developing in themselves. It's also like they
Absolutely.
are learning you, your habits, and your product and your code as well. Like one of the examples that I can think of is we have been using Jira AI for coming up with test scenarios. We use it to write stories, we use it to write epics and bugs as well, and finally we use it to write test scenarios as well. So I used it for one of the scenarios that I was working on, and it came up with time zone based scenarios that I had not thought of. So for me, it was
Excellent.
like, okay, just because the tool has, just because Jira AI has the memory of the previous scenarios that we had created, it is able to do it here as well.
Absolutely. The trick is to keep on using it, on a
Yeah.
regular basis, and not just use it only when you think, okay, I have to use AI today. So it's have to be a part of your own workload to do it on a daily basis with respect to your own current set of tasks. That's when I think you're gonna see more benefits out of using AI.
Can you think of any other real world examples where by consistently using it, you got something out of it that you had not expected?
Oh yes, I've been working on a lot of API generation. So when I started with the initial front, it was not able to understand the context of it, and generate something simpler. But then as it progressed and as it started reading my code further and further, it was able to understand how I had created other APIs and started creating on the similar structure as well. So that was kind of impressive. So I don't have to feed everything to the AI tool now. Follow this guideline, etc., etc. It knows my pattern. It notes the way my own code repository is structured, and then starts creating files in similar fashion, which is kind of cool.
Awesome. So I think for now we have covered that there is resistance and why the resistance is there. In next part, we can talk about how to get rid of these things that are preventing you from again boarding this train.
Yeah,
So
sure.
thank you, Pramod. Thank you for all the insights, and thank you
Yep.
everyone for
No
listening in.
worries. That'll be great, actually. I mean, curious to know and interested to know as well to share how exactly we could bring all of them on the same level. Like you mentioned, train is ticking, and then people who don't onboard now is not going to be possible to do it later on as well. So, for all
Yeah.
the folks out there, start using, guys. Make AI as your own fellow developer, and then get into the race.
Thank you, Pramod.
Thanks,
Thank
Sarah,
you
for
for
having
the
me.
yeah. See you in the next one.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Right.